This one comes from Ranton and Raven. Any young goalies you're considering using a keeper slot for?
Yes, there are. And it's fun to answer this question here because I will be publishing a story on our site later this week looking at my favorite keeper stashes for next season, but it will be light on goalies because a lot of my favorite goalie keeper stashes, I believe, are blocked by their organization in terms of just veterans who are ahead of them on the depth chart. So, for example, I'm not going to answer Yaroslav Askarov. I'm not going to answer Jesper Wallstedt. In both those cases, those are probably the two best prospects in the game, goaltending wise. They both have two veterans ahead of them that are both signed through next season. So I'm looking at guys that have more opportunities. One, I think, of course, is Pyotr Kochetkov. I still consider him a prospect, considering he's been sent down so many times this season. We know that Frederik Andersen and Antti Raanta both are not signed for next season. We know Kochetkov is. So his potential in fantasy is massive next year. I'm talking top 5 is his potential ceiling. I think he's got a tremendous opportunity, and the Canes view him as their long-term number one. So to me, that's your number one high priority stash as a keeper. The other one I'm looking at is Mads Sogaard in Ottawa, and this is a player who I don't know if anyone expected to see get an opportunity this soon. He's a really big guy, and I know you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, Stephen, but he was perceived as sort of a project from the moment the Senators drafted him. But he kind of got fast-tracked to the NHL this season because of all the injuries in Ottawa's net with Forsberg and Talbot. He was Rookie of the Month for February. He still has some competition now from Kevin Mandolisi. Is it Mandolisi? Mandolisi? Never said his name out loud, but the Kevin guy is also some competition. But if you look at the pedigree, I think Ottawa wants Sogaard to be their goalie of the future, ideally. And with Cam Talbot at UFA, I could see them trying out a tandem next year of Anton Forsberg with Sogaard. So that's another name. If I'm trying to be more realistic and look at goalies with opportunities, Kochetkov and Sogaard is who I have my eye on for next season.
To add to Sogaard, this is someone who there were a lot of flaws in his game when he got drafted. Obviously, the size was there, and athletically, I thought he was good, but he was putting himself. And I actually wrote on my own personal website a few years ago. I did a breakdown of how he overcommitted to plays way too often, and literally was using games like against like Canada at the World Juniors as an example. But it was like, this is the guy that's supposed to be saving their bacon in a game like that, and I felt like he was giving up, making way too many mistakes in his own crease and overcommitting, and that's not as big of a concern. So I am actually I'm of the belief he is the goalie of the future for Ottawa.